Hello to all Cinemaster lovers. Hope you enjoy watching. Let's get started. The movie begins in Japan with a student named Takahata. Takahata stands out among his classmates because he's very smart, but due to his intelligence, he feels bored with life. Suddenly, while he's in class and the teacher is writing on the blackboard, the teacher's head explodes, revealing a strange, talking toy named Daruma. This toy challenges the students. If it turns its face and sees any student move, their head will immediately explode. However, when it turns its back, the students are free to move as they like. Now, Daruma turns its face, spots a student moving, and kills them. Those who panic and try to run are also killed instantly. Then, Daruma turns its face again, continuously saying its own name. The remaining students are terrified, wondering what to do. Each time Daruma kills a student, small red balls emerge from the victim's body. Two students wait for Daruma to turn away and attempt to open the door, only to find it locked with no escape. Daruma turns back and kills those two as well. As the students scream in fear, one student named Sakaki tries to calm them, explaining that he knows this game. It's called Daruma. They're trapped in this game, and Daruma will kill all of them unless they manage to press a button on its back, which will end the challenge. One student makes a big mistake by running toward the button, but Daruma senses him, quickly turns, and kills him. This is Daruma's strategy. It speaks slowly and then swiftly turns to detect any students approaching. The students notice a countdown timer on Daruma's back, giving them only 1 minute. If the time runs out, all the students will die. They all try to approach Daruma to press the button, but some slip on the balls scattered on the floor, and Daruma turns, killing them. The classroom is soon filled with bodies, and only 10 seconds remain. Only Takahata and Sakaki are left, so they quickly devise a plan to win the challenge. Sakaki crouches down, allowing Takahata to jump on his back toward Daruma, aiming for the button. In the final second, Takahata succeeds and presses the button, causing Daruma to fall in defeat. Disappointed it lost the challenge, Takahata and Sakaki celebrate their survival, but suddenly Sakaki's head explodes. Daruma tells Takahata, "You pressed the button, so you're the only one who won the challenge." Takahata is in shock, unable to believe what happened. Daruma then warns him, saying, "The cat is coming next," hinting at the upcoming challenge. Suddenly, the classroom door opens, and Takahata's friend, Ichika, appears with a shocked expression. Takahata rushes over to check on her, and Ichika explains that she too had been in a Daruma challenge. When she pressed the button, all her classmates died. Takahata realizes they went through the same ordeal and suggests they call the police. However, when he takes out his phone, he finds there's no signal. The two of them try to escape from the school, but all the doors are locked. Takahata attempts to break a window, but it doesn't shatter. Eventually, they find a door that opens, leading them to the gym. As soon as they enter the gym, the door slams shut, trapping them again. But they're not alone. Other students are there too, some dressed in costumes resembling mice. Takahata quickly understands they're facing a new challenge, and on the floor, there's a message instructing them to score the ball in the hoop to win. Suddenly, the ground shakes, and a giant cat statue emerges, immediately eating a student dressed as a mouse. The cat begins moving towards any student in a mouse costume, devouring them. This challenge is even more intense than the previous one, and the students start running in terror. The cat approaches Takahata and Ichika, but it doesn't eat them since they aren't wearing mouse costumes. Ichika spots a ball rolling across the floor, while Takahata notices a hoop attached to the giant cat. He realizes the objective is to get the ball into the cat's hoop. Takahata shouts to the students, explaining what they need to do. One of the students, a basketball player, asks Ichika to pass him the ball. When he catches it, he throws it toward the cat's hoop, and it almost goes in, but the cat blocks the ball, catches it, and throws it back at the student with incredible force, slamming him into the wall and killing him instantly. The cat looks at Takahata but doesn't eat him. Instead, it only targets students in mouse costumes. Takahata realizes that the cat only eats anyone dressed as a mouse, so he warns the other students to take off their costumes. They all remove them, thinking they're now safe. But suddenly, the cat starts moving again, this time eating anyone in sight, sending the students running in fear around the gym. Ichika spots the ball near her, with a countdown timer showing only 3 minutes left. Just then, the cat approaches Ichika to eat her, and when Takahata sees his friend about to die, he quickly puts on a mouse costume to save her. The cat shifts its attention to him, and Takahata starts distracting it by running left and right, shouting for someone to throw him the ball. However, the students are too scared, fearing they might meet the same fate as the basketball player. Then, Takahata hears a strange noise. He realizes that since he's wearing the mouse costume, he can understand that the cat just wants someone to scratch its back to fall asleep. Acting on this new insight, Takahata jumps onto the cat's back, grabs a rope, and starts scratching the cat's back. The cat smiles and stops attacking, seemingly content. Takahata asks the other students to help him, and Ichika joins him. Seeing this tactic working, the other students climb onto the cat's back and do the same, making the cat relax and eventually fall asleep. With the cat fully asleep, Takahata grabs the ball, preparing to throw it into the hoop. But the other students rush over, each wanting to take the shot themselves, fearing that only the person who scores will survive. They argue and fight over who gets to throw the ball. Their loud voices wake the cat, which slashes 2 students with its claws. Realizing they don't have time to make the cat sleep again, Takahata comes up with a clever plan. He grabs a damaged basketball and asks Ichika to retrieve the cat's ball and follow him behind the locker room. Then, Takahata and Ichika each grab a ball, both dressed in mouse costumes, and approach the cat from different directions trying to confuse it. The cat hesitates, unsure which ball to focus on. Takahata accidentally reveals that he has a regular basketball, which leads the cat to realize that Ichika is holding the real target ball. The cat goes after Ichika, preparing to block her shot, but this turns out to be part of Takahata's plan. With the cat distracted by Ichika, he throws his ball, which actually contains the cat's true target ball inside. Unfortunately, Takahata's throw doesn't make it into the hoop, and everyone believes they've lost the challenge. But suddenly, a student named Amaya appears from behind the cat and successfully scores in the last second, winning the challenge. The cat stops moving and declares the game over, naming Takahata, Ichika, and Amaya as the winners. No other names are announced, and Takahata begins to wonder what will happen to the remaining students. Out of nowhere, Amaya starts killing the other students who lost, revealing his ruthless nature. He believes only the strong deserve to survive and moves towards Takahata and Ichika, declaring that as winners, they are the only ones worthy of living. Ichika calls him crazy and refuses to accept his twisted mindset. Angered, Amaya attempts to kill Ichika, but Takahata intervenes and stops him. Just then, the cat releases a white smoke, causing the 3 survivors to lose consciousness and disappear. The news shows that similar deadly challenges are happening across the globe, with more than 10 million students reportedly dead. Reporters discuss theories, with some speculating that aliens are responsible, especially as enormous cubes appear floating in the sky worldwide. Inside the Japanese cube, Takahata awakens to find his old friend Toka, who went to another school and was once in a relationship with him. Alongside Toka, 2 other survivors named Tara and Taka from different schools have also appeared, having survived the Daruma and Cat challenges in their own schools. Takahata realizes that all the students in this room have names starting with the letter T. Each cube room contains students with names beginning with the same letter. Remembering that both Ichika and Amaya's names also start with the same letter, Takahata worries they might be together in another room. He tries to open the door but finds it locked. Frustrated, he bangs on the door, hoping someone will hear him. Tara, a brilliant yet arrogant student, interrupts, telling Takahata that no one is coming to save them. He shows Takahata a holographic newsfeed covering the global chaos. Takahata then realizes they are trapped inside the mysterious cubes floating above Earth. Tara coldly informs him that there's nothing they can do except wait for the next challenge. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door, and 4 eerie, floating dolls enter the room, announcing it's time for the 3rd challenge, which is harder than the previous ones. One of the dolls points to Tara, saying he should go first. Overconfident, Tara agrees. The dolls explain that Tara will sit on the floor, blindfolded, as they circle around him singing. At the end of the song, they'll ask him, "Who is standing behind you?" Tara, nervous and uncertain, guesses wrong. One of the dolls then fires a laser at him, taking control of his body. Under their control, Tara begins hitting his head on the ground repeatedly until he dies. After Tara's death, the dolls choose Tauka to go next. Terrified, Tauka refuses, but the dolls warn her that refusal means immediate death. Left with no choice, she plays the game, also blindfolded as the dolls sing and circle her. When they ask her who's behind her, fear paralyzes her and she hesitates. Losing the game, she tries to escape, but the dolls trap her, firing a laser that forces her legs to spread. They pull her apart until her body breaks, killing her gruesomely. Next, the dolls choose Toka. But before she can answer, Takahata volunteers to take her place, and the dolls accept. They circle him, singing, then stop and ask, "Who is standing behind you?" To everyone's surprise, Takahata answers correctly. The dolls are shocked and ask how he knew. Takahata explains he memorized their movements while watching them with Tauka and Tara. Impressed, the dolls vanish, leaving behind a key. Takahata and Toka grab the key and exit the room. As they step out, they see a student running, holding a key and being pursued by another doll. The student warns Takahata and Toka that to survive, they must hold hands, as the doll kills any student standing alone. Seeing them together, the doll loses interest and leaves to search for another lone student. Now Takahata's group has two keys. They hear a noise nearby and follow it, discovering that it's Ichika being chased by a doll. Takahata lets go of his group and runs to Ichika, grabbing her hand just in time to save her. At that moment, a large wooden head appears on the wall, with a timer counting down. The head announces that they need 7 people to place 7 keys into the head. Takahata's team soon finds 2 more students who also hold keys, bringing their total to 6 people and 4 keys, still short of 1 person and 3 keys. With only 2 minutes left, they feel hopeless. Just then, Amaya appears, throwing 3 keys at their feet, accompanied by another student. To complete the group of 7, Amaya kills his companion, saying he only needed him as protection from the doll. Although Takahata dislikes Amaya and his ruthless actions, he realizes they need him to complete the task. Together, they insert the 7 keys into the wooden head, which signals the end of the challenge. It instructs them to change clothes before disappearing, revealing a tunnel that they enter, leading them to the other side. Upon arrival, they find themselves in an open area, where the ground suddenly trembles. A gigantic, white polar bear appears and performs a display before stopping, then speaks to them, saying it despises lies. The bear explains that the next challenge is a truth-telling game. It will ask them questions, and they must answer honestly. If anyone lies, the group will have to choose a sacrifice among them to continue to the next stage. After the bear explains the rules, it asks, "What's your favorite food?" The team thinks it's a very easy question, and everyone answers. However, the bear sniffs the air and says, "There's a liar." It gives the team 2 minutes to identify the liar or sacrifice anyone in their place. The group begins accusing each other, eventually suspecting one student who answered, "My favorite food is vegetables," since vegetables aren't considered a full meal. The student insists he's telling the truth and genuinely loves vegetables, but the team votes him out. The bear kills the student. The bear then moves on to the next question. Do you all like Takahata? Since Ichika and Toka secretly admire Takahata, they say, "Yes, we like him," as does Amaya, while the rest of the students also answer positively. After everyone responds, the bear announces, "One of you is lying." Ichika immediately accuses Amaya, saying he doesn't really like anyone. Amaya and Ichika argue, while Takahata wonders why anyone would lie when the bear can tell. The bear praises Takahata for catching on, revealing that one of them is actually an alien disguised as a human and is the one lying from the beginning. They must identify and eliminate this alien, or it will be the cause of their deaths. After this revelation, a student points to Toka, claiming, "The liar must be her. It can't be me or my friend since we're from the same school. Takahata, Ichika, and Amaya are also from the same school, so you're the odd one out." However, Takahata and Ichika defend her as the timer runs down. In the end, the two students from the same school and Amaya vote to sacrifice Toka, following the majority rule. The bear crushes Toka, leaving only a bit of blood behind, and Takahata mourns the death of his former lover. Just as the bear prepares to ask the next question, Takahata interrupts, declaring, "I know who the real liar is." The bear is shocked, asking who it is, and Takahata points out that the bear itself is the liar. He reveals that Toka's blood dissolved some of the white paint on the bear's body, exposing its true black color, proving that the bear was the deceiver all along. None of the students who died were actually lying. The bear merely convinced them there was a liar among them, intending to kill them all. Enraged at being exposed, the bear attempts to attack the students, but they manage to escape until it eventually falls into a hot area. Its body begins to burn, melting the paint, and in the end, the bear accepts its defeat, declaring their victory in the challenge. The team then moves on to the next location for the final challenge, where they are greeted by small, doll-like creatures who encircle them and announce that this is the last challenge. One of them will be chosen as Akuma, who must take a box and place it in the red circle on the floor. At this point, the remaining students go into hiding, while Akuma begins searching for them. When Akuma spots someone, he calls out their name loudly, grabs them, and throws them into a cell. If Akuma can imprison 3 or more students, he wins. However, if a free student manages to kick the box, they'll be sacrificing themselves for the others to survive. The dolls also warn that the box contains a bomb, and if someone kicks it, they'll be sacrificing themselves. The challenge won't end until sunset, about an hour away. If Akuma hasn't captured 3 or more people by then, he'll lose. After the rules are explained, one of the dolls presents 5 sticks to determine who will be Akuma. Unfortunately for the students, it's Amaya, the craziest and most ruthless among them. The game begins, and the students scatter to hide. Amaya places the box in the red circle and starts searching. He quickly finds the 2 students from the other school who try to fight him off, but he overpowers them and throws them into the cell. Takahata and Ichika witness this from a distance, but Amaya spots them and realizes where they are. They scramble to escape, using a rope to try climbing out through the window. However, Ichika realizes they don't have enough time to get away, so she sacrifices herself by confronting Amaya directly. While Amaya catches her, Takahata manages to escape. Takahata, knowing Amaya will guard the box, finds a hiding spot. Amaya tries to lure him out by shouting that he's already captured 3 people, suggesting they could win together. Takahata doesn't believe him and searches the area, finding an old metal suit. He puts it on, hoping it will protect him from the explosion if he kicks the box. But the suit is heavy, restricting his movements, and he looks awkward and clumsy. Dropping his sword, he retreats to the back of the castle with no defense. Amaya removes Takahata's helmet, only to discover that Takahata has cleverly wrapped a chain around him while he was removing the helmet, trapping him. Takahata tells Amaya, "I used to think life was boring, and I wanted a change. But after everything that happened and the games we were thrown into, I realized the value of life. I was a fool, but sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until it's gone. Because of these games, I lost my friends." Takahata then throws himself off the castle, pulling Amaya with him. Amaya struggles to avoid falling, but Takahata escapes the metal suit just in time, and Amaya is left trying to drag the heavy armor back up. Takahata climbs to the rooftop, heading toward the box to kick it, but he's exhausted and moving slowly. Amaya, still trying to free himself from the chain, finally succeeds, racing to stop Takahata. But just as Amaya reaches him, Takahata manages to kick the box, seemingly freeing his friends. Everyone braces for an explosion that doesn't come. The box had no bomb inside. Seconds after Takahata kicks the box, the sun sets, signaling the end of the challenge. Seconds after Takahata kicks the box, the sun sets, signaling the end of the challenge. The dolls reappear and announce that Takahata is the winner. They reveal that they lied about the bomb to make the game more thrilling. Amaya is furious about losing and his impending fate, but the dolls surprise everyone by saying that the final challenge was just a game and that no one will die. Fireworks light up the sky in celebration, and the students rejoice, relieved that they're finally free. The dolls hand them ice creams as a reward for surviving. Takahata eats his ice cream and chats with Ichika about what they'll do once they leave. After a while, Takahata notices some writing on his ice cream stick, but doesn't pay much attention to it. However, Ichika starts crying when she reads the message on hers, which says, "You lost and will die." The dolls then speak again, explaining that each challenge required skill and intelligence, but in the end, luck determines who lives and who dies. They reveal that each ice cream stick contains each person's fate. Ichika's fate is to die, while Takahata and Amaya are safe. The other two students are also marked for death. Following this revelation, Ichika and the two other students are struck by a laser from one of the dolls, disintegrating before Takahata's eyes. Takahata and Amaya are transported to the top of a floating cube in Japan, where the public celebrates their survival. However, Takahata is heartbroken, having lost Ichika, his beloved. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification button to get more new videos. See ya!